welcome to Sports Opinion, the weekly sports talk show on Channel 18. That's public access TV. I'm Dirk Keller. This is Bud Supple. He's back from a little extended vacation. Earl Murphy's back, and we've got special guest John Murphy. That's Earl's son. That's Joe, our producer's brother. John, welcome back.
Well, thanks, Dirk. It's
nice
good to be back.
Well, yeah, it's good to have you back. I always look forward to doing this show, especially after a Hawkeye win. And that was a pretty thrilling game last Saturday at Kinnick. Night game, the only one of the year for the Hawkeyes, home or away for that matter.
Now you bring this
Black
up,
and gold
can't
stripe.
they have a night game with Michigan or Michigan State? I think they can.
I don't. The only thing it could be is a 2:30 start.
No, I don't think so.
Because they're November games.
I don't care.
If
they want to do it,
they won't. Big Ten won't let them do night games in November.
Is that right?
Oh, you mean nobody will do it?
Nobody can do night games.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. I thought Iowa was the only one that said they were.
Oh, no, that's Big Ten rule. No night games unless it's indoors.
Well, no, we had a 6 o'clock
any...
one in Minnesota last year, and that was in November.
No.
Yes, that was our last. Sure,
it
was.
That wasn't 6 o'clock.
Huh?
That wasn't 6 o'clock.
It wasn't?
Mm-mm.
It was dark up there by whatever it was.
It might have been 6 when the game was over.
No, it was after that.
No. The only exception was indoor games, and we don't have any stadiums now that are indoors in the Big Ten.
Oh, I like that rule.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's too doggone cold in November.
I do too.
So
I like 1:30.
Yeah, or even 1. Old school 1 o'clock. We'll never see that again.
Yeah, next year.
I like night
Big
games.
Ten's going to start doing 1:30s.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Are they?
They're going to start going back to that.
Yeah,
That's such a big demand. Now, it's just when you're on TV.
Well,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
that's
You're
every
always
week
on
for
TV.
us.
That's 3 games a day on Saturdays.
Right.
I think they have 3 games, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now they have 11, 2:30, and 6, and or 7.
How many games are played on 11 o'clock?
I think it varies, but pretty much it seems like at least 3 games.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
3 games.
2 or 3.
Yeah, 11 o'clock. And I don't know what to think anymore. 11 o'clock for home games seems a little too early. It's just tough to get over there and get your tailgater unpacked and opened up and greet the friends and boom, you got to go. You got to get in. It takes forever to get in.
See, it wasn't that some show that they put on.
Yeah, and I'll give credit to Rick
The
Clapp.
card stunt.
I thought it was sensational.
Yeah, marketing department did a
you,
good
Bud?
job.
Oh, beautiful.
It was beautiful.
I send pictures to both my daughters out of town.
Yeah, it was really
They looked
something. Farm Bureau helped organize the card show before the game, and it had 2 facets to it: the flag, or the red, white, and blue,
Yep.
and then after that, and that was during the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, and people were clapping
Yeah,
during the Star Spangled
Wasn't
Banner.
it?
It seemed all right.
you felt like you were in a part of something bigger
Yeah.
than you.
Yeah.
And it was really pretty special. And they had, if you weren't at the game, you held up these big fold-out cards, and it was a heavy
And you
paper
peeked
stock.
through it.
And then they had a little slit so you could look
I had a
through
hard time like that.
and see what the stadium looked like.
I made mine a little bigger.
Yeah, I was looking at the jumbotron because they were scanning the whole stadium. Because then I could see, you could
Right.
see what the whole stadium
Right.
looked like through the jumbotron. But
Well, you know,
mine was just white and
for a
black.
night
so that's kind
game-
of
Mine was just white.
white on both sides.
I think it was white on one
Oh,
and
that's ours.
blue or black on the other.
Yeah.
They didn't give me one.
You didn't get one up
No.
there
Mm-mm.
in the press box?
No.
Really? I guess I didn't notice that. Huh.
But you know, that was the nicest night game I think I've ever been at. Everything
I
went so,
agree.
and it wasn't no wind blowing. It was comfortable being there the whole game. And
And the Tiger Hawk on the water tower. Did you guys notice
Oh,
that?
yeah.
They were
Oh,
flashing
yeah.
a yellow
Yeah.
Tiger Hawk on the water
it was
tower.
just everything was just fantastic.
There was a nice vibe in the air before the game, right before the game, during the game, and then after the game. It was just
a
nice.
little nervous in the third quarter.
Oh,
The guy to my right was, here we go again. They're going to beat us again.
I don't blame anybody for thinking that way. When it was 17-17,
Yeah, yeah.
and that score, that lead, that 10-point lead, was the same 10-point lead that we had on Northwestern for, what, 3 years in a row? And they beat us those 3 years.
Yeah.
Was
So-
this the fourth game? I mean,
Yeah, they
Okay.
could have won on that beat us 4 times.
Yep.
Well, what was great about it is when they tied us up, that shows the courage our players have. They went out and scored 24 points after that.
is that right?
And most of it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, the fourth quarter was
They were
dramatic.
just determined they weren't going to beat us this time.
You know, I didn't see that long run, that interception from Miller from Kelowna. Miller from Kelowna, not from Wellman.
That's right. Tanner Miller is a sophomore defensive back who he was the last scholarship offer for his class, and the story goes that he was on his way back from a basketball game for Mid Prairie High School. And for those of you that aren't familiar, Mid Prairie is out in the boonies in Wellman, Iowa. Great school and a big competitor of Regina for one over the
Good
over
school,
the
there's
decades.
nothing.
Yep.
They've had the same athletic director for 25, 30 years.
And Tanner Miller was an outstanding athlete, not just in football, but track. And
I think he was state champion in the hurdles, wasn't he?
I think
Class?
you're right.
And when you bring that up, I think track was his biggest sport.
Yeah. And he
As
was
far as
recruited.
being honors and things.
You know, he was an athlete when he was recruited. He wasn't picked for a specific position. He was an athlete. So here he is, and he's kind of, he's learning the ropes this season. He's a starter as a sophomore. That's a true sophomore. And I'll tell you what, his interception, which was a 98-yard interception return for touchdown, that's a pick six for 98 yards. It tied the Hawkeye all-time record. But that was a game changer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're done.
It was
with
first
that.
quarter.
10-point swing.
Yeah.
Northwestern's coming down to score. They were moving the ball on the defense.
But I don't know if you could see it. I was in the end zone.
It was right in front
But
of
he
us.
was gaining on that guy that was after. You could just see him gaining from down on the field.
Well,
It was
running
a
away from him.
beautiful thing.
Huh?
Running away from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was heading for the end zone. And this guy cut over, and I thought,
Yeah.
well, he's going to get him. No,
Yeah.
he just.
He had a little extra
There were some
burst.
good blocks
He
too
did.
on the way there.
Yes.
Great
You
blocks.
could tell he was a track man when you see
And
him.
who was the defender for the Hawkeyes? Who
I think it was 18, wasn't it?
that would have been? Was that Micah Hyde?
Micah Hyde made a good block.
Well, but I was talking about there was either a linebacker or a defensive lineman who forced that bad pass of Persa.
Right.
Persa was getting knocked down sideways, and he
I
made
think
it
it was
terrible. Was it?
Yeah.
He made a terrible decision to throw that ball.
Wonderful.
Oh, it was a great decision
But
for
see,
the Hawkeyes.
he was under pressure.
Yeah.
And just like that, it's 10-0.
I think
And
it was a lineman, but
yeah, I think it was a
They-
lineman
they were
too.
saying
I want to say Geddes.
yeah.
Does that make
sounds right.
sense?
No, Geddes is offensive lineman.
Oh, okay, that doesn't
Yeah.
make sense then.
But they were saying on the Big Ten Network, after I saw the highlights or whatever, and they're like, he's pretty strong, Persa is. I guess he's,
he's
can
strong.
bench press 400 pounds or something.
right?
And, if he wasn't so strong, he probably just would have gone down, but he tried, and it was unlike him to force a pass. But
He did.
that made it, that was a big
I
difference.
hope we don't see him unless he goes with the Bears.
Well, we won't see him again. That's
Unless
it.
he goes to-
Unless he goes to. I don't see a pro career in his future, but you never know.
You don't? I do.
No, I don't. I think he's a little too small, and that'll get his style of quarterbacking will get you killed in the NFL. But we'll see. Hey, more power to him. I like him a lot better now that we don't have to play him anymore.
Yeah.
I still don't have any love for the Northwestern coach.
Yeah. What is it that the real ruling? He's on the field half the time, maybe
Yeah.
3/4 of the time, maybe all the time. I don't
And
know.
his assistants.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're jumping up and down. They are so far
Surprised
out
it's
on the
only
field.
5 yards.
Well, I was too. There was a penalty called. It
What do you
was
say
a
about 5
fortuitous
yards?
But
penalty.
if you watch
It's a
why
5-yard
the
penalty.
penalty was called, he got in front of the referee
that's
and he
what I
couldn't
hear.
run down there.
He ran it.
And the referee almost fell to the ground and he
Yep.
just threw the flag.
Yeah.
What?
Right then.
I was
yeah.
talking to one of the guys that worked the sidelines after church on Sunday, and I thought it was Fitzgerald that got the penalty, but it was one of his assistants who the referee ran into. He said that the Northwestern bench had been warned, I think he said twice, before that penalty,
Okay.
to stay in your zone, stay out of, there's a designated area in between the two 40-yard lines where nobody can be except the officials, basically, while play is in action.
But they say that every game the officials all meet and criticize or applaud or whatever they do.
Yeah.
And they must talk about this being on the field all the time and all the time.
And Fitzgerald and his staff are the worst about
That's
it.
right.
Always have.
And he has that clipboard.
Yeah, he's got that big, oversized plastic, plasticized clipboard that he wears on his belt loop, and it hangs down all the way to his knee. But, he's always yelling at the refs. He's always after them, always out on the field yelling at his team. And what really upsets me, what I don't like, is when his players are coming off the field after a big stop or a big gain, he's jumping up like he's one of the players, and he's going to chest bump them. And if I were a Northwestern fan, I'd want my coach to have a little more decorum, a little more polish.
If I don't know the difference.
Well, I don't think they do.
But he's brought them a long way.
Yeah.
It's not a team that you can pick and say we're going to beat every week. He's brought them a long ways compared to what Northwestern was.
Well, so far everybody in the Big Ten they played has beaten them. We'll see if that lasts.
This year, yeah, but no, I don't think it will.
Now they got Penn State
Matter of
this
fact,
week.
I'd put some money on Northwestern to beat Penn State this week.
And it's another night
Penn State
game.
hasn't been out of the. That's 4 straight night games for them.
They got 4 straight night games.
But they probably like that in the Chicago area.
Yeah.
Oh, everything's money.
It is.
Oh, it is. That's
It
just
is.
what it is.
It really is.
Otherwise, why would you have 4?
Yeah. We talked about the card display. Mm-hmm. We talked about the red, white, and blue card display for the Star Spangled Banner. After that, we flipped our cards, and it was a tribute to American farmers. Mm-hmm. Hayden Fry started a tradition here at Iowa about 25 years ago where he put a little round symbol on the players' helmets that simply said ANF, America Needs Farmers. And there was a whole day dedicated to farmers here at Kinnick Stadium on Saturday. And part of that commitment or dedication that the Iowa Farm Bureau put together was this card program that said America Needs Farmers on one side of the field. In the end zone, specifically the north end zone, they had the plan to have that circular symbol, ANF, but the Northwestern band, who sat in the north end zone, refused to participate with it, and it ruined the ANF part of it. The F was basically not there.
That should have been looked at ahead of time.
Well, tells me all I need to know about Northwestern, I think.
I don't think our band would hold up something for.
But it's farmers. It's not like
it wasn't an Iowa thing. It was a farmers thing. Be a part of it, It had to be cleared ahead of time. I mean, it just had to be.
I think you should.
What's that, Earl?
I said I think Bud should think about that. It was the whole stadium was doing it, and you have one little section.
It looked bad.
It looked bad.
Yeah, they were our guests. Mm-hmm. They got free tickets. They got to not only see the game at no charge, but they got to perform at halftime. Their cheerleaders and their mascot were all there. And the least you can do, especially in the Big Ten, where we share everything, all funds, all bowl money, everything is shared equally. Ticket revenue.
Right.
The least the Northwestern band, the Harvard of the Midwest, could have done was participate in the America Needs Farmers card display. And they didn't do it. And it really kind of wrecked it. And I'd love to know what may have been discussed behind the scenes after that. If Gary Barta or Rick Klatt or somebody like that had to call Northwestern or the Big Ten office and say, hey, look, we went out of our way for these guys. We made them feel welcome. And
well, every team does that. We go to 2 games. You're allowed 2 games to go to.
Right.
Well, invite the game, the band.
Yeah. Again, every school welcomes and
it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, they take
I'm sure
them
it
in.
costs you to go there.
Oh yeah, they got to pay for it. But I just thought it wasn't a very neighborly gesture on their part, and just shows that they, I think, like their coach, hold Iowa in contempt. And like I said, I'm glad we were able to break the jinx and beat just Northwestern. And we'll see what happens to them the rest of the season. But I don't think they're going bowling anywhere. Not this
Doesn't
team.
look like it.
They got some nice players. That quarterback person may be the best in the country or in the conference. Who was their other quarterback? What was his name? He caught a lot of passes.
Number
too.
2. I don't remember.
Yeah, number
Started
2.
with a C, I think, but I don't remember.
Calder?
No.
I don't
It was
know.
like
Yeah.
Sherbert or Herbert or something like that.
Well, the second string guy is Calder.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the short, quick one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were
he had
impressive.
a good run early on. But
And the Hawkeye defense really got a workout Saturday.
And they look pretty
pretty
good.
good.
Yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't like they gave up big chunks to Northwestern.
No,
Northwestern's offense, that spread offense, is designed to give up little bits, or to take little bits from the Iowa defense. Do you know that Northwestern ran 92
Yeah.
offensive plays?
yeah,
I mean, that's just,
And we came in with
16 to
60.
21 on third downs.
yeah.
And the Persa was
32 more than-
31 to 40, almost 80%.
It's just amazing. And that's why we were all on the edge of our seats right up
Yeah.
till,
But if they can't
But at the
score
end-
on them,
well,
We were winning the line of scrimmage, especially in the second half.
yes.
it's like that Lisman scored 90 to nothing,
Yeah.
and they got 60 points the first quarter, and they didn't get one first down.
And that's something.
Not one first down.
All touchdowns, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's what.
Amazing.
Well, I had the opportunity to watch the replay of the show, or of the game,
I did
last
too.
night. And our offensive line, for the most part, just blew out that Northwestern
Yeah, they
defensive
didn't seem
line.
too big, did
See,
they?
I read somewhere where they played a couple extra defensive players and rotated stuff in there, and they gave them fresh legs, and this is where it helped out a lot.
Well, and this is
Our defense looks so much
That
faster.
linebackers
Yeah.
look quicker, too. They
Yeah,
had a lot of
quicker.
quicker,
Yeah.
lighter guys in there that
well, this is
cover
a
receivers a little better.
yeah. Hawkeye defense that was playing without their starting linebacker and their number one tackler, number one defensive in Nardo and Morris.
Do you think Morris is ready to go?
They're saying he is. Both of them, Nardo and Morris. That's good. I don't know if they're going to need them against Indiana.
I agree.
Well, it depends.
never
on
know.
how much they
We've
are.
been-
Yeah.
I've the last 4 years setting at Indiana's been about as bad
yeah.
as setting against Iowa.
It has been.
Yeah. It's been a close
We
game.
were lucky
never know.
last year to win.
Oh my
With those
God!
beautiful passes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He
Well,
dropped
they
it.
should have beaten Iowa last
Yeah,
year.
that he
At
dropped it.
Indiana.
I think both of them are, don't have any running backs.
They don't, and they don't have any
And
defense.
to play that kind of game, you need
Yeah.
a running back to go with you, and that's where I think we shine. Because I thought Whatchcall played one of his
Yeah,
best games
Coker.
of all year.
looked good.
Coker, didn't you think?
Against Northwestern?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was a battering ram.
Oh, I know.
He really was.
And when they call that ball back on the half-yard line or whatever
Ah.
it was, he was just went right on it.
Yeah.
The guy sitting right in front of me said, that reminds me of what Long did against Michigan
Yeah.
State.
Uh,
Oh, that bootleg. Yeah.
Yeah, and they both were
fourth down call.
Yeah, and they were 16,
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I hadn't thought about that. That was a great call. 4th and 1, late in the game, and it just went off to perfection. It was a naked bootleg.
It was
where-
just almost like Chuck Long.
just
Yeah.
like Chuck Long
Yeah,
against
right?
Michigan
It-
State.
Position and everything, just
Yep.
in the same.
Same end zone.
It
same
was just
corner.
meant to be as we saw it open up. Yes, same end zone, north end zone, right in front of me where I sit. And it was just meant to be. And that's what maybe felt so good about this game Saturday night. So many things like the deep passes that Vandenberg had in the fourth quarter to really open the lead and put the game away.
That first pass to Davis was honey.
Yeah.
It really was. Marcus Coker had 100 and
36.
let's see here. Had 124 yards on 22 carries.
Yeah.
He never really had any big breakaway runs. He just battered his way through that line, and
But our line, they made some holes.
Yeah, they
for 'em
did.
this
they
time.
did.
And at Penn State, they made no holes. I mean,
Yeah.
let's play that Penn State game. We all played lousy. Just wash that
Yeah.
thing away.
Yeah, I still think Penn State's the
Good
best
defense.
defense in the Big Ten. I just think they're
Well,
tougher
Well, I'm
than
afraid I'd
nails.
have to say Michigan State.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. James Vandenberg, the quarterback for the Hawkeyes, was 14 of 22
That's good.
for 224 yards. That is very good. He had 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception. Marcus Coker scored twice, although that run by Vandenberg, it should have counted. He was in.
How many interceptions did we have?
1. Keenan Davis and Marvin McNutt combined for 11 catches for 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Marvin McNutt tied the all-time Hawkeye touchdown receiving record. That means touchdowns that he caught in the end zone with 21. The next one will be the record-setting.
But just think of that one he tied with. How are you going to have a more beautiful pass?
Beautiful.
Then,
Sure
they
was.
could have threw a pass on the 3-yard line, but this one here, they can take a picture of it.
And
I just thought it was great.
It was magical. And the other thing about Marvin McNutt, we can't forget, late in the game when Northwestern was trying to kick onside kicks, Marvin McNutt, the first onside kick, he caught and nearly ran back for a touchdown.
Yep.
It was beautiful.
Then they try it over again.
And-
Why would you kick it to the same guy?
Kicked it right to him again, and he went down with it, didn't even try to run.
Right.
The game was over. That was it. Just beautiful.
I just could not believe they did the same thing. I think they would have went the other
Yeah,
side
just
or
turn
something.
around.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It'll be nice to see him break the record. He might add 4 or 5 to that.
Oh, I think he will.
Yeah, I think he will.
Yeah.
I really think he will.
See,
I'd like to see them go to him more often. I wish, but they did Saturday. They went to him,
Yeah, they went.
and he and Vandenberg teamed up to do what they're supposed to do, and it worked out well.
Everything was called.
But Dwight was more of an all-around player.
Oh yeah,
Punts and
Yeah.
punt return, kickoffs,
yes.
even punt coverage. He would
he
come
was
down and
great
hammer
there.
people
Oh, I know.
on punts. Which we all love to watch him.
Oh,
he
yeah,
was,
yeah.
He was just a human missile. And speaking of kickoffs and punts, that's my only complaint about the game Saturday was our kickoff coverage continues to be a mystery, if not a weak link. Number one, our kicker can't get it into the end zone, and his kicks continually go about if we're lucky, 10-yard line, and some of them 15. But Northwestern had big returns on virtually every kickoff and every punt.
We did too.
Yeah.
We had good
We had
bunches.
the
too.
best,
Both
yeah.
team kicked out of bounds once.
Yes.
Which is
Yeah.
the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand that either. But
It wasn't
maybe they're trying to
windy.
kick to a corner. I don't know.
That's got to improve, but the coverage really needs to improve. The Northwestern monkey is off our back. Now it's on to Indiana. Do you know that this is the 100th homecoming celebration this week?
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Playing Indiana or just.
You got the badge on.
I got my homecoming badge on. Nobody can see it because Joe's not in the control room right now to do a close-up. But the homecoming badge doesn't say anything about the 100th anniversary.
Of homecoming?
Yeah.
What they
Nothing
do
about
the
it.
other years?
Well, you were here. You've been here for all 100.
Well, didn't we start playing football? Started playing football in 1895 or something.
I
Yeah.
know. I
They
know.
just
I
didn't
got
start
one at
until-
home, and Murph probably knows it. He's probably got. But in '45 during the war, they had paper ones.
Yeah. You have one at home? Can I have it?
I
That's
don't know.
no.
I don't know what I do with. Do you have
Is
a
it in-
collection?
I do. I've got every one since '77 and a couple of other older ones. I went to an auction a couple weeks ago at the Hall of Fame, and they were selling homecoming buttons, and they had 2 of the paper badges, and they weren't in tip-top shape, but one of them that your paper badge has a hole punch so the
Right,
string can go
right,
through
right.
it. It was ripped. The
Oh,
part
out of
of
there.
the badge
The
was
eye
ripped.
of it, yeah.
But that thing went for $500.
You're kidding.
No. And it wasn't top, condition.
I'll sell mine to you for 4.
So
You heard it. I have a witness. I have witnesses all over. The 100th homecoming. The game is 11 o'clock Saturday morning, on the Big Ten Network. I also have another little Indiana homecoming trivia fact. The last 2 times Indiana has come here to play Iowa for homecoming, the Hawkeyes have lost.
really,
Let's see here. I'll give you the dates.
I don't like that stat.
Well, it's just another streak that the
We
Hawks
can
can
end.
break.
Oh, I know.
That's
Okay.
right. The Hoosiers won each of the last 2 games when visiting for Iowa's homecoming, including a 38-20 win in 2008.
Was that,
James Hardy, probably.
yeah,
Receiver.
pass.
Yep.
Mhm.
Got
That was
They
a
had
head
that on
scratcher.
TV the other day.
Did they?
No, really.
Yeah.
Who was he playing Pro Bowl for?
He's with somebody.
Yeah.
James Hardy.
Okay.
Can't remember. That's a good question.
I'll
If
take
you
it.
have the answer to that question, give Bud a call tonight after midnight on his home phone. Oh, Carol, I'm sorry if that ever happens again. The Hawkeyes also got beat by Indiana 38-31 in 1999, which was Kirk Ferentz's first year. And we lost pretty much every game that year.
Yeah, only won.
Yep. Indiana has an assistant named Doug Mallory. That name may sound familiar because his father was the head coach at Indiana and the all-time winningest coach
And he's the
at
one that
Indiana.
beat us 38.
38-31
Yeah, 38.
in 1999. I don't remember. Why did he leave Indiana? Was he fired?
I think he was asked to go.
Well, you might find this interesting. The assistant coach, Doug Mallory, played football at Michigan, where his dad coached at one time
Right.
as an assistant. He was a teammate of Iowa receivers coach Eric Campbell at Michigan, which I find interesting. Let's see. Well, there's also some other news about the Hawkeye football team. Just before the show here today, I learned that Tyler Nielsen broke some fingers. Linebacker Tyler Nielsen broke some fingers in the Northwestern game, had surgery on Sunday, and is going to play on Saturday. Now, I don't know if you guys have had surgery on your fingers. I have. It really hurts. And it hurts for a long time. I don't know how you can get out there and do that.
Well, they have pain pills.
Wrap it up.
Well, maybe they'll wrap it up. Yeah,
Oh,
I
they'll
bet
have
they
it.
have something. to
Like a
wrap it up.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just won't be able to.
Makes it tough for a
Intercept the pass.
linebacker.
Yeah.
Sometimes those clubs are better than the 4 fingers anyway.
Sounds like we need more linebackers.
Well, I learned something else before I came on the show, and I'm going to talk about it here. A.J. Derby, the City High star quarterback and defensive player.
How tall is he?
Oh, 6'5", 4'4". Yeah. It sounds like is going to be a linebacker now. Just heard this. Got it confirmed from somebody. That he's not with the team, but it apparently is a done deal. He's moving over.
Is Derby back with the team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He
He's
can
in
play
good
Saturday.
standing.
He
No,
did?
no, not
I said he
AJ.
can play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
he will.
coming. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's
okay.
eligible to play this Saturday. It sounded like he's been practicing with the team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sounded like he was
So-
imitating the running quarterbacks and doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
First, they can scramble and stuff.
Which I thought was interesting that he was doing that, and now this week he's switching over to linebacker.
He probably went and said, I'm ready to switch.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was a daggone good linebacker in high school, and he could hit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, could he hit? And he enjoyed
I think they're
it.
all good players. Every
Yeah.
one of those derbies.
I'd love to have seen him play quarterback, though, because he's a different style. He reminds me of Brad Banks. Number one, he's left-handed. Number two, the boy can run, and he's elusive, and he's not afraid of contact. I'd like to have seen him.
I
Are you
feel
sure he's
s-
left-handed?
I thought he was.
No, that was the second.
Who am I thinking of?
A kid from Illinois,
Okay,
14.
forgive me.
He's a left-handed quarterback.
Shielhace,
Yeah.
whose father
Was coach it?
was a Hawkeye. Yep. So there's.
But I'm so confident in the quarterback that we have.
Yep.
I walk in that stadium, I know I'm going to see one heck of a good ball.
He can't get hurt.
No, that's right. I agree with you.
That would
He
stink.
cannot.
That would stink. Couple other Hawkeye notes. To Monday was a big day for Tom and Terry Brands, the wrestling coaches for the Hawkeyes. We know that the football team had a lot of recruits in over the weekend. Big recruit weekend for the Hawkeye football team. Their biggest and best high school prospects were here, and they saw a good show. They were very impressed with what they saw. But the Hawkeye wrestling team also had their first open practice at Carver Hawkeye Saturday morning.
10:30.
Place was packed.
Was it?
Packed. I had some friends that went, and not only was it packed with Hawkeye fans, but it was also packed with big-time recruits. These are kids that everyone in the country wants. Everybody. And these are kids that can go wherever they want to go and pretty much write their own ticket. After this weekend, Monday, Tom and Terry Brands got commitments from not one, not two, but three of the top wrestlers in the country. Their names are Sam Brooks, who is from Oak Park River Forest. He's ranked the number 20 high school recruit in the country. And he is an upper weight guy in the 197 category, which Iowa really needs.
Yeah.
Really, really needs. And this was a kid who had offers from Oklahoma State, Minnesota, Illinois, everybody, Wisconsin.
Iowa State.
I don't know if Iowa State did. I'm not sure if Penn State did either, but really the people that pay attention to this stuff did not expect him to go to Iowa. And he came here and said specifically he couldn't believe what he saw at the open practice on Saturday morning. He said, I just have to play for those fans. He said, I've never seen anything like it with the fans. And this is just an open practice.
Yeah.
He talked about his desire to get out there on the mat in front of a packed arena for Hawkeye wrestling. And I know when I read this last night, I got pumped up. Because not only Sam Brooks is here, but so is Corey Clark, who is from Southeast Polk in the Des Moines area. He was ranked the 18th best wrestler in the country. And he's going to be around the 141, 149 weight, which we're going to need. And this kid is, he's just unbelievable. You'll see him in the high school state tournament, if not sooner. And then finally, the Hawkeyes got, and again, nobody expected this kid to come here. His name is Tom Gilman. He's from Nebraska, and he is ranked the 5th best wrestler, and that's all weights in the country. Number 5 best in the country. Nobody expected. They thought he's going to Nebraska with their brand new facility, brand new wrestling room. They thought he'd stay in the Big 12, maybe go to Okie State. Again, he had offers from everyone. He came here Saturday, saw what he saw at the open, practice.
The new building.
Yeah.
Went home, thought about it, and called Tom and Terry Brands Monday and said, I'm a Hawkeye. Now, the signing date for high school seniors for wrestling and basketball is November 9th. So that's coming up here in about, 2-3 weeks? Coming up soon.
3 weeks.
I'm just telling you, these 3 kids in one day just doesn't happen. Just doesn't happen. It'd be like...
You know that what happened at the football game with the cards might have influenced them.
You know it did. You know it did.
I know wrestling is pretty tough sport, but kids have.
But we should be getting some of the best recruits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
we're
wrestling,
the best
I
program
would say,
with
yeah,
Penn
the best.
State, and, and the new facility.
But who got the best? Somebody else got really good recruits too. But who?
Right now, I just read about this. Penn State's right up there. Wisconsin is right at the top in wrestling recruits. But this changes everything.
Yeah.
That as soon as this came out, they have to calculate.
See, I don't think there's another school that draws like we do, even when
Oh, they
we're
don't.
down.
Nobody does.
No one does.
Not even
And these
close.
kids really look at that. Who am I going to be wrestling against and so
And
forth?
our coaches look at a certain mentality too. There
That's
was just
right.
this thing on
Right.
Dan Gable on
That's
Big
right.
Ten Network.
The icon.
Yeah, where he was like, some kid was like, I was a top ranked, wrestler in the country, but I wouldn't recruit me.
Right.
That kind of thing, because
I agree
he didn't
with-
fit into our mold.
I agree with
So-
you, and I think our football coach is the same way.
I do too.
Yep.
He looks the kid over. What
Yeah.
kind of life has he had at home? What kind of school is he there at school all?
How
then
hard
goes
is he
out.
willing to
That's
work
right.
and
That's
improve?
right. I just
Can he
we
be
have,
a Hawkeye
and I think
wrestler?
our basketball coach is the same way now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
He's
just
gonna be a good
shouldn't do
winner.
it the way we're doing it and keep it that way on all of them.
I agree.
Yeah.
We don't need coaches on the football sideline chest
No.
bumping his players and running out on the field and making an ass of himself like Fitzgerald did. I mean, Fitzgerald from Northwestern, he was a very good linebacker. I'll give him that. And he was on the best Northwestern teams ever and a big part of them. But I don't think that translates to the
What you
coaching
think,
sidelines.
think of that San Francisco coach, Stanford.
Former Regina student,
Yeah.
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh, yeah. What'd you
Yeah.
think of him? Did you see that?
Yes.
Oh,
I thought
now,
he,
come on.
I thought he was an ass.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah, they're like the other coach from Detroit said. There's protocol in the post-game handshake. You don't go jumping up and down, pulling your shirt up and showing your belly to, all the cameras, and you don't come up to the vanquished coach and give him one of those monster grip handshakes and then smack him on the back. That's one of those slaps that hurts.
Well, he's lucky he didn't turn around and poke him.
Well, yeah. And the other coach is low key.
How? See, I didn't even realize that he went there.
Yeah.
Has he got them winning now?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's only his first year.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
early.
Yeah, they've only lost once, I think, right?
Just once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Regina has some football players. Has anybody from Iowa contacted them? I know Reese Morgan was at the game the other night.
What did I asked somebody this over the weekend? Who's the junior on the Regina team they're looking at? They're looking at somebody, but it's not. It's not the running back linebacker.
No,
Volstead.
but they'd like him to come on. See,
Yeah. Well,
and I hate to say this, but I'm going to. But Regina's had 3 or 4 recruits that they got in the last couple of years, and they haven't really panned out. And they like this kid to come on and walk. And some of these kids, well, it turns out to be that he. I think Michigan ain't interested now, and Wisconsin's now. Last week he went to Northern Illinois. I don't know how he come out on that
well, I
one.
bet you they're interested in him.
Well, but I think, just between me and you, if I was a guess, man, I think he's going to probably end up in Northern Iowa.
That'd be all
He's
right.
the best place in the world for him.
Free education.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a.
And I'm not saying that,
I think he's
Just
good
a
enough to play
different
for
kid.
Iowa.
I do too.
yeah, well,
I wish
I
I
think
wish
he-
they saw it that way.
they don't look at it that
Okay.
way. If
No.
they don't pan out,
Well, they got quite a few Iowa City guys on it.
Yeah.
Counting West and
yeah.
Well, and you make a good point, Bud. They've had some Regina kids at Iowa that haven't panned out. That's okay. Not everybody does.
No.
In fact, most players don't.
Right.
But I'd say give this kid a shot. We'll see. It's still early. It's way early. Tanner Miller didn't get a scholarship.
No,
offer
that's
until
right.
the-
That's right.
till
And
track
I'm not
season.
saying Iowa's not going to go after him.
All right.
But I'm like you. It's
There's another Regina player they're looking at, and I'm
Okay.
drawing a blank on
That's
his
right.
name.
okay. I don't know who that'd be.
If you know the answer, please call Bud after midnight. Tonight. You can call me on this one. I'd like to know who it
I'll
is.
bring him back next. I'll see you on Monday or Friday night and tell you.
Well, speaking of Regina, they had a game Friday night. I guess you could call it that, against Louisa Muscatine, and they won 70-0. It was 35-0 after the first quarter. And they didn't have many plays from scrimmage either that night. They pretty much just did what they wanted to do. And it's getting to the point where not only do we feel bad for the opposing team and their coaches and family, but I think even more importantly, what is this doing for Regina's kids and program? They're just slaughtering everybody. Everybody. I mean, they dominated Solon, 3A state champ. What does this do for the kids?
Well, here's what I'm going to give you right now. There's a lot of people wondering this. Regina's in District 5.
Mm-hmm.
And the teams there are Regina, Minneapolis, Welton, Albia, West Liberty, Mid-Prairie, Davis County, and the winner of the Comanche, Louisa Muscatine. Now, the team we played last Friday could make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah.
So, if Regina wins, otherwise it should pan out this way, Minneapolis and Regina. The first two games are home for Regina. And if this pans out this
First
way...
two playoff games.
Yeah, playoffs game.
Next Wednesday.
Wednesday, and then again on...
Saturday?
Yeah, I think Saturday or
Week from
Friday.
today it starts.
Yes, right, a week from today. But the interesting thing on this, the state changed the way you get your home games.
How?
First of all, seeded number 1 gets the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one goes by alphabetic order. And last year it went A through Z. This year it goes Z to A, so they probably get their third home game. So you won't know until they get to the Dome because all these teams they've beaten the last year and a half.
Where'd you get that? From Ted?
From the athletic director.
I thought maybe Ted.
No. No, I asked last night. I'd like to know where what you're going to do. People like to know, But Wednesday
the
is
first 2 games at home.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, they play West Liberty on the road Friday night, the regular season finale. West Liberty's not terrible, are they?
No, they're already will go against Mid Prairie in the playoffs.
Do you know West Liberty's record?
2 losses, I think. However, I don't want to even tell you that one of the losses are 2.
Who was
or
it?
2 of them. One's to Wilton that we beat
63-0.
There's not a good, and I don't know what they're going to do about this. You pick up the paper and see Lisbon wins 90-0. Now, come on, we have to do something about this stuff.
I'd like to see Regina play some 3A teams like Williamsburg.
They started
Mount
out.
Vernon.
Solon. They played the number 1 team.
Well, they need to play some more of them.
They're really tough.
Yeah.
Well, Marv makes them tough.
Yep.
There's just no question, and they love to play for him.
Yep. It is what it is.
And I will be the first one to say, the last 2 ball games been boring. I should have stayed home and watched them on TV.
Yep.
Just boring. I mean, you're all done after.
There's nothing to it. Just nothing to it.
Stand there and shiver for nothing. Now, I do like to see the younger kids play.
Did Marv Cook's son, Drew, get in the game as quarterback?
He got in.
Did he?
But
he didn't pass, did he?
I was sitting with his mom.
Uh-huh.
And every time they went to put him in, they'd lose the ball or something.
Oh.
Is there a continuous clock or anything?
Oh,
yes.
Okay. When does that start?
It doesn't start till second half.
Second half.
After 35 points or greater lead. Well, they were winning 35-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
And the score at the end of the half was 63-0.
What was Lisbon?
That was 90-0.
No, I mean the
Oh.
first half.
First half, what was it? First quarter?
Yeah.
Yeah, first quarter was 60-0.
60-0.
Yeah.
Think of that.
Now, I don't know what it was at half.
I've never heard of 16.
No. Well, now there was another team up by Dubuque, won 94-0. I mean, these are setting. But I think that was 8-man football.
It's just
And
not
that's
good
a shorter
for the kids.
field and so forth.
That's just not good for the kids.
What about that school up by Dubuque?
Cascade or
No.
Dyersville?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be tough. They're in the thick of things.
Are they 2A?
Right,
Oh, okay. Dyersville Beckman?
right.
Okay. That's a Catholic school.
That's right.
Right.
I don't think they have a public school in Dyersville.
Is that right?
No. They don't have it. They go to Western Dubuque, which includes
Yeah.
Dyersville, you know.
Is that right?
Yeah. If you're going to go to a public school, or let's say you're not Catholic, you want to go to a public school, you go to Western Dubuque.
Western Dubuque's really out there in the boonies.
Yeah,
I've been
it's pretty close to actually Dubuque,
Yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
I mean Dyersville.
Well, it's close to Dubuque.
Yeah, it sets in between the two of them.
Yeah. I'll be darned. Okay, so City High and West High both took it on the chin this weekend. City High lost at undefeated and now conference champ Linmar, division champ Linmar.
I still take City Eye in the finals.
Well, they've got their senior night coming up on Friday. City High does, and they've got Cedar Rapids Prairie in town. They ought to womp up on Prairie good and get in line for the playoffs. You think City High is probably not going to get a home game for the first week, are they?
No.
They're
The
going to
home
go on the
game
road.
goes to the seeded one.
Yeah.
They go by seats in
Yeah.
there, so they won't get a home game, but they will get the next one.
Right.
Sometimes I think a team's better off getting the second one at home
Uh-huh.
than the first one.
Very
you see
true.
what I mean?
Very true. Because you're going to have a tougher opponent the second week,
That's absolutely right.
theoretically.
Yeah. Well, you know they won one already.
Yep.
And in that was bigger school. Now, the saddest thing about City High and West High, and I don't like it at all, and I know my voice wouldn't mean anything, but the Mississippi Valley's going for
Yep.
football,
It's pretty
going
much
to
over.
districts. Now, that is not right. That is not right. That's just helping those small schools out in Western. Everything we do in Iowa, we're taking care of the western part of the state. Now, give it to Nebraska. But really,
You're right.
really, we got the City High and West are in the best conference in the state of Iowa, bar none.
You're right.
Good football week after week after week. You don't see any score there, 90 to nothing or anything like that.
Sure don't.
It's good football.
Although West High came close. They lost, what was it, 63?
60.
Yeah,
66 to
Washington,
37 to Cedar Rapids Wash.
Yeah.
Who
That's unbelievable.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cedar Rapids, Washington is just a Jekyll and Hyde team. They come here to Iowa City and they beat City High. First home loss in 4 years, first conference loss in 4 years. And then they go the following week, Cedar Rapids, Washington goes to Linmar and just gets their brains beat out. Linmar just
I
destroyed
figured
them.
that.
And then they come to Iowa City again to play West, 66 to 37. Hard to figure that. So
See, they'll put Warsh ahead of West High, too. in the
yeah,
playoffs.
oh yeah, deservedly so. And now West has
However,
to go to.
I think we have two teams and can beat them anyway.
West has to play better defense.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if they're capable.
I know it.
They've got to go to undefeated, number one ranked in the state, Cedar Falls, Friday night. So
And I think
that might not be pretty.
West High will beat them.
Do you think West High is going to beat Cedar
I
Falls?
sure do.
At Cedar
I'm
Falls.
going on record
You heard it here first.
West High, because that quarterback they have one, Rogers, and I watched Cedar Falls on one of those funny channels, you know. I don't know if it was KCJ 09 or whatever it is.
KCJ09.
Whatever it is, I watched a couple of their ball games, and I don't feel they're that strong.
We're going to find out. I wonder if that game's going to be on TV.
I'm at. Have they been? Cedar Falls been beat?
No.
They haven't been beat.
No.
Yet. Okay, well, I may have to eat my words, but I'm
I
going
think
to
Dowling
win.
and West Des Moines are two pretty good teams up there.
Yeah.
How are we making out on that? Dubois or something?
Darbo,
Yeah.
no word. No word. It really sounds like he's not going to end up at Iowa. It sounds like he has some favoritism towards Notre Dame. It sounds like Wisconsin really wants him badly. He got injured, though.
And I think
Third game of the
he
year.
ruled out Wisconsin.
Really? Well, that's good.
I think it's between two schools.
Is Valley ranked number 1 in the
And
state?
that's Notre Dame
No,
and,
Cedar Falls.
Cedar Falls. Okay.
and Iowa.
Is that right?
Notre Dame.
And the way that Notre Dame coach screams and yells at his players, I don't know if this kid's really up for that. We'll find out. But he's the premier.
But there's a sleeper over there in Des Moines too.
Oh,
Southeast Polk.
ah.
Yeah.
What,
They're
are they
playing-
undefeated?
No, but I think they've only lost one game or so. They're in the thick of things.
And they're 4A.
Yes.
Southeast Polk. Okay. Well,
Valley's been rolling up people pretty good. So
and they're always a danger.
yeah,
Des
They're what?
Valley.
they've been a friend of mine's son's a reserve running back on the team, and every time I talk to them, they're just killing people. I mean, he's playing a lot as a third team running back because they're ahead so much.
Who's that?
Valley, West Des Moines Valley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
undefeated. They beat
Dowling.
Dowling early in
Right.
the year.
And Dowling can recruit, can't they?
Yep.
At the team.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get a kick when people
If
around
they
here
want
accuse
to,
Regina.
they
of
can
recruiting.
recruit.
Yeah,
but
Marv
what people
said
don't forget,
Not happened.
they don't get it free.
That's right.
That's right.
No.
Nope.
You know, I told the principal out at Regina just the other night. Yeah, why would you go to a school recruit? Because if you're not Catholic, you're going to pay $15,000 a year
It's a lot of
tuition
money.
out there.
It's a lot of money.
So you know.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
we all heard Marv speak at lunch one day when he said, and I forget who in the crowd made the crack about
Recruiting.
Regina recruiting.
Yeah.
And he said 22 of the 24 starters, including punter and kickoff,
Right.
started school at Regina as kindergartners.
That's right,
yeah.
Have been together that whole way
Played
through.
in the old St. Pat's gym when they started out.
You know,
And he said the other one's dad, went to Regina and they moved back to town.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in junior high.
yeah.
And it's like, so that's not going on at Regina.
But you're not going to have that all the time. You have it a lot, but you're not going to have that many.
22 out of 24.
Yeah, and same with all these kids now who play baseball before they go off to their colleges and so forth.
How's the kid doing Halch out at Colorado School of Mines?
I don't know about him, but the sad thing about what was the little guy that running? The guy from
Regina,
Regina last year.
the quarterback.
You never give him a punter. You go all the way with it.
Oh, him. Drawing a blank, but what happened?
He got hurt up at Cole College,
Oh,
and so now he's not even going to play.
he was excited.
How about the
Yeah.
quarterback that went to Princeton?
I think he's doing good. I talked to his mother.
Is he
out of
redshirting?
Regina. No, you don't have to redshirt there because you play. They have freshman ball.
Yeah. Oh,
They're in a regular
the Ivy League.
the
old
Ivy
school.
League. They go around playing out on the freshmen, and he's playing some.
Yeah.
I'll bet he is.
Yeah,
I'll bet he is.
and very smart kid. I mean, I don't
Oh,
think
yes.
there's any problem, and I think that's why he's
Jack
a good
Verducci.
football.
Joe.
Yeah,
Jack
that's
Verducci.
right.
6. Okay. You guys going to the homecoming parade, Freddie?
I think I am.
I'm
Yep,
going to
you
West
down?
Liberty.
I don't know. Ann's in town.
That's right.
Oh, your
Yeah.
daughter's in town?
Yeah. No, she'll be in town tomorrow
Yeah. She's the one from Alaska.
from Fairbanks.
Yeah. I'll be darned. That's
Are
nice.
you going to the homecoming parade?
Yeah, we got little kids. Gotta
Yeah.
take them.
Sure you do.
Yeah. I don't usually miss a parade unless the weather's
Bring your
really
paper
bad.
badge down and it'll fly it from
I
you.
went to the Lisbon homecoming parade
You did?
during the summer. They have homecoming.
In summer?
Yeah, well, it's up by my cabin, so I just went to the parade.
And how was the Lisbon homecoming parade?
Terrible.
Did they have any floats?
No.
No floats?
No, they just get a bunch of people on the back end of a truck or a tractor.
Waving.
Right. And then you wave back at them.
Well, usually the Iowa homecoming parade's pretty entertaining. There's always something.
Who's the general?
Grand Marshal.
Yeah, the Grand Marshal.
I don't know. Joe, you know who the Grand Marshal is? I know they've got a concert after the parade. Is it
Survivor.
Survivor?
Eye of the
Eye of the Tiger. Eye of the Tiger. So
Rocky Balboa.
we got that going on. And then the game is at 11 o'clock. Oh, we haven't talked about the World Series. Our Cardinals made it.
Oh, yes.
It's been 5 years since they made the World Series, and the first game is tonight.
I've been a fan longer than you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1935.
no argument. I became aware in 1964. I had it made where I grew up in Jacksonville, Illinois. Cardinal baseball is religion. I went to a Catholic school, and the nuns were Cardinal fans. So in '64, again, all day games back then, the nuns would wheel out the TVs into the lunchroom. And if you were good, you got to stay and watch the game after lunch. 67, same thing. Except we had color TV by that time. 68, same thing. So, we just grew up with it as part of your life. And
How far is that your town?
my parents' driveway was 89 miles from the Stan Musial statue. I had it down pat, and
How far to the brewery?
I've only been to that brewery once, and I wasn't that impressed.
I went once.
Free
Should
beer.
have stayed home.
Well,
That was back in the days when I don't think they give you but one or two beers
right.
now.
That's right. And
Back
they used
when
to.
I went, you just sat there all afternoon.
You betcha.
They said on the sports this morning, neither the Cardinals or Texas have one of the top 10 payrolls in the league. So I kind of like to see that.
Yeah.
The teams that aren't bought.
And this
that are
Texas team,
competing.
they're dangerous. That Nelson Cruz, he's the next coming of Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
This guy can hammer balls. He to me, he's the best power hitter in the American League.
Well, what's your opinion on Pujols staying there?
I think he will, but if Albert doesn't stay in St. Louis, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I really get tired of the big money that these players command.
But I just wondered what do you think the Cardinals will offer? Probably not enough, not as much as he
100
wants.
million?
Well, that's it. Someone will
Oh
come
no,
along.
it'll be closer to 200 million.
Well,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It'll probably be 10 years. That's
will
the hang
that-
up. It's
how
not
old
the
is he?
money so much per year, it's the number of years. So
Right.
we're going to see how it all works
That's
out.
right. It's a number of years and you can't blame an owner
Nope.
when the guy's 30-some years old. How many years are you going to get him?
Yep.
And then another thing that broke today, I don't know if any of you have heard about it, but what about the Red Sox? Drinking beer before the game and then they're now, I just come across the news when I come in, they also drank beer in the dugout during ball games.
Yep.
why?
I
Is this
don't
the-
know.
Well, it was the
Pitching
pitchers
staff
who
is
weren't
not-
the starting pitchers who weren't going to pitch that day. Were the ones doing it.
Oh,
Not that it
okay.
makes it okay,
No.
No.
but that's what they were doing. And if they weren't in the dugout drinking it, they were in the locker room, not on the bench, but in the locker
Yeah,
room during
right.
games, drinking, eating fried chicken,
See, we're getting
playing
too
video
far on
games.
that. Here. But when my wife worked at Procter & Gamble, they brought a bunch of Germans over here to work on the machines,
Uh-huh.
and they had beer with their lunch.
Oh yeah, my grandma, grandpa,
just
they
sat
grew up
there and
drinking beer. Kids drank beer at lunch. They didn't have milk pasteurized
Okay.
over in Germany as much as we did, so it was a different way. I mean, that wasn't unusual for Germans. What is unusual is that we're out of time already. So Sports Opinion
Surely.
is over. We're on every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. and every Sunday night the show repeats on 6 p.m. on Channel 18. If you miss it there, you can pick it up on PATV.TV, the website, or you can just go to my Facebook page and we'll have it up every week. John, you want to come back next week?
Sure, I will.
We'd love to have you back.
Thank you.
And
Are
I'm
you
just
coming back?
Yeah.
he's here.
Good.
Sure.
On behalf of Joe Murphy, our longtime producer, on behalf of Bud Supple, John Murphy, and Earl Murphy, I'm Dirk Keller thanking you for watching Sports Opinion.
Did you ask Joe if he's coming back next week?
Joe will be back. He's a good man. We can count on him. Hey, remember, thanks for watching, and either you're a Hawk or you're not. Go Hawks, go Cardinals.